Welcome to Cadeau and Janko Wednesdays at Lunch, Burger Edition. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Alex Rock St-Laurent.
Hello.
For today's episode, we went to, a Montreal standby. Since 1958, we've been open for 58 years. It's Mr. Steer. And now, Matthew, because of time constraints, we didn't actually eat the burger together. Alex didn't get the normal Burger Edition experience.
Yeah, I got chipped, I feel.
You got a little ripped off.
Oh.
Because he had to just eat a burger with me. He got the Matthew experience in a way. You ate your burger last night. Were you all alone? How'd that go?
Well, no, I was with some people, but it wasn't because I wanted to jip you of an experience, Alex. It was I didn't want my idea of this burger, my rating of this burger, to go to be influenced by Sebastian. I want to see, after 27 or so episodes, I want to know what an unbiased burger is like, and I got to taste it.
That's a very interesting perspective.
You didn't want Sebastian to ruin the experience. This is what I'm getting from this. I wanted to have a burger in peace.
No. I owe you a burger, Alex. We'll do it soon.
I'm avid listener of the show. Every week, as soon as it's on, I'm listening. I'm listening to it.
So, Alex, you've heard the show plenty of times. You know how we usually go about it. So, what were your initial thoughts on Mr. Steer, and any preconceived notions about the show?
Preconceived notions about the show.
Not the show. Sorry, about the restaurant.
Well, yeah. I mean, we had talked about it earlier, right? About wanting to pick a place, and I kind of zeroed in on that place. Preconceived notions. Yeah, I was afraid to do this place because I thought I was going to like it too much right off the bat, going into it, like knowing I was going to give it a good score.
How often in the past year would you say you've gone to Mr. Steer?
The past year, I'd say maybe 5 or 6 times.
And now, would you attribute this in part to the fact that you rarely leave a 5-block radius of your apartment?
That probably plays a part in it. Yeah, that probably plays a part in it. Yeah. I mean, within the 5-block radius, it's really the only place to get a burger in the 5-block radius, to be honest.
Yeah, you probably have a McDonald's, Pips.
Well, yeah.
You got a couple other options.
Yeah, I don't like the Pips.
There's some joint that opened up in a former Chinese restaurant that just looks kind of questionable to me. I know that they definitely repurposed some Superman artwork for their logo.
Where is this?
Isn't it the corner of your street?
Oh, that, yeah. What's it called?
I forget. It doesn't matter. We'll go eat there eventually.
Don't go there. It's terrible.
They're new burger on the block. We gotta scope it out.
We'll get to it.
You finally get your poison burger.
You never know. Matthew, did you have preconceived notions about Mr. Steer? I see you've got a list of notes. I don't know how much these are burger related. I see 1 or 2 that are definitely burger related.
Very few, but I was wondering, do we have an award for the longest restaurant?
What?
Because
you mean like from entrance to back wall, how deep the restaurant is?
Because I've only been there once before, and I sat at the very front window, never had to use the washroom, so I just assumed it was a very small restaurant. This time I sat in the front again, had to use the washroom, and I went on a trek to get there. It's going to lose some points.
Just for the physical depth of the restaurant, because it's a little too much like a hallway. You don't like the place?
Yeah, it's don't whatever. I'm not actually gonna make it lose points, but it was way too long. That's a long restaurant.
That was the unit that was available in the 50s, and they bought it up and they stuck with it.
Well, I'm only saying that it's the length of it is about as long as the wait for our burgers. I don't know if you guys had a long wait, but
it was a bit of a surprise.
We were actually kind of surprised at how long it took.
Yeah, because I was sitting out on your stoop eating yogurts in the hot sun, just waiting for you guys, and I knew you were going to be late because of the length of time it takes for them to prepare these little tiny meatball-sized burgers.
Yogurt in the hot sun seemed like a terrible mix.
Yeah, just to start off, it's poor choice.
Yeah, the yogurt.
Okay.
So what'd you think? I think I've already let too much. I've divulged too much.
I think I'd only been to Mr. Steer's once before. with a couple of people. Nick Drapo was one of them. He had a bit of a kick. He was on a Shirley Temple kick at that time, so we all got Shirley Temples. I think our server was pretty confused. He eventually wrote a song about Shirley Temple. It was pretty good.
Your waiter?
No, Nick Drapo, former guest of the show, show intern, Nick Drapo.
Who's Nick Drapo?
Matthew, I think you've let the success of this show go to your head. You're forgetting even guests from mere weeks ago.
No, I believe it's
You've turned into like Johnny Carson. Don't even remember who was on the show yesterday.
I'm attributing this to the sun-cooked yogurt, my brother. But on with the show. What do you think about this place now in your present stage of life, your present evolutionary stage?
I know that they recently renovated. I appreciate it. The place looked nice.
Nice looking place.
I walked in. I was pleasantly surprised. We got a booth today. Alex and I did. I noticed as soon as I sat down on the booth, seems like they're probably packed. They managed to pack in like one extra booth because I felt like the depth of the booth pretty slim. It was like sitting on a bench. Mm-hmm. You're not sinking into that booth. The menu I found kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of burgers. Some burger options are a pair of burgers. All the prices seem relatively similar. We're talking like maybe an $8 range between like their plainest burger to the super supreme burger or what have you. So the menu was a little confusing in how very similar every item on it was. But on the whole, I'd say I mostly enjoyed my experience.
Okay.
I had some issues, but we'll bring that up later.
Yeah. Now, Alex, can I call you Al?
Yeah. Al.
Al, did they have what did they have on that menu in terms of desserts?
I didn't look today. I feel like I have looked in the past. If I were to could I guess? Is this some sort of a quiz? Or?
Well, I'm gonna cut to the chase here. They didn't have chocolate Pop-Tarts. Now, how did that make you feel? Because I know you love your chocolate Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Might lose some points.
Okay. Because Sebastian, I don't know if you know about this, but have you ever been a guest at Alex's home?
Well, we lived together for about 6 years, I think.
I think more than that.
It's true. We were a day short of becoming common law in Quebec. If we lived together one more day, we would have been common law.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's a weird number. 7
7 years? I believe that's it. 7 years.
That's a weird number.
I might be wrong.
To settle on. Well,
actually, didn't you move in like April and not July 1st?
Yeah.
I think we may have been common law.
I feel like that means I'm entitled to half your stuff. Now that we've moved on with our lives.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to go to court.
Yeah, at least you're good natured about it.
I'll tell you this: you're not getting in my Pop-Tarts.
That's true, and that was his mentality from the get-go. When I visited his home, now stocked with Pop-Tarts, that place was, and your mother Alex was so nice and was always offering me food. And every time I came over, I was like, what would you? She would offer me the Pop-Tarts. And at one point, I think the first time it happened, you weren't around. I think maybe you were having a shower, or you were out back, or I don't know the circumstances. But she gave me a chocolate Pop-Tart. And I remember you came out and you saw me halfway through that delicious morsel, and you didn't freak out or anything. You weren't unruly. You weren't rude to your mother. Nothing like that. But there was a little bit of hatred in your eyes, and I don't remember if you took the rest of the chocolate Pop-Tarts and like brought them to your room, or if you kind of mentioned to your mother that the chocolate Pop-Tarts are only for you and not for guests. The guests, they get the strawberry ones. They get the cracked plain ones, if there was even such a thing. But ever since then, when I would go back, I would never get the chocolate Pop-Tarts. I was never offered them anymore.
Yeah, it probably became a thing, right? It probably became like a... I want to hope it was a gag.
I don't know. I think you tried to play it off as a gag, but really... But I was okay with it. I was okay because I could picture you very, just getting home after a day of school or work and sitting down in a suit on a lazy boy and just enjoying your Pop-Tart with knife and fork.
Yeah, come back from my job at the bank.
What is this? My wife and kids? I don't understand why.
Well, I don't know.
Turning
Alex,
stock all day.
Where
are my Pop-Tarts?
There's very little I knew about what you did in your personal time, Alex. I know that you were an avid collector of eagle statues.
Yeah.
You love chocolate Pop-Tarts, and there was a brief period of time where you tried to embody the essence of David Boreanaz.
That's true. I do remember this. Every time I hear about that show, Angel, I think about one time Alex and I were in gym class, and we were playing badminton, and you, an alarm went off on your watch, like a beep beep, and you were like, only 8 hours until Angel. Like you had an hour by hour countdown to when the new episode would air.
And,
yeah.
But not only did you love Angel, but I think I asked you at one point, it's like, how'd you like Buffy? And you were like, that show's for like losers or something. Or you said something very derogatory. Anyway, very derogatory of Buffy.
And you're a big fan of Buffy, aren't you, Matthew?
Yeah, well, actually, back then, I don't think I really even knew much about either. I just knew they were a vampire, and then Alex was walking around with a leather coat down to his ankles, and he wouldn't come out in the daylight.
I know. I early on, probably in one of the first seasons of Buffy, caught. I think I was at my cousin's house and it was just on in the background, and there was a love scene going on. Like maybe her and David Boreanaz were in a bed, and I felt a little uncomfortable watching it around my cousins. It was a little weird.
Love scenes always make me uncomfortable. There was one
affection in general makes me uncomfortable. Seeing people
affection, PDA.
Yeah. Every time that was in a movie, I would fake like having to go to the washroom if I was around any family members or anything. And there was something about dragons. Dragonheart? Is that a movie?
The movie Dragonheart with
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery as the voice of a dragon.
Oh yeah, that
perhaps
sounds right.
The last dragon.
Yeah, I think that's it.
The last dragon he ever played, or the last dragon in terms of the movie?
Probably both.
Okay. But I think there was a scene where the two humans kissed, and I had to leave. Just like I'm not feeling well. And my mom caught on that time. She knew it was because two people were kissing. That was embarrassing. But I've gotten past that.
I had that same sort of feeling in I believe a first season of Power Rangers episode where the Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger like made out at the end of the episode, and I was like, this is a little awkward. I was just playing in the snow. I'm watching TV by the fire. Now's not the time to watch these teenagers make out.
They're just banging helmets together, aren't they?
Well, no, they took their helmets off.
Yeah.
They may have been in their street clothes.
Oh, okay.
The robots were making out though. Like
No, the Zords weren't making out. I kind of wish the Zords would have made out.
I want to backtrack just for a moment because we skimmed over it. Alex, where did this obsession about eagles come from?
It was imposed on me. If let me be totally honest. I think one year, my dad's side of the family is from up north, up on the coast, about 6 hours away. And I remember I used to go there in the summer and waste my money on what are they called, trinkets or whatever they're called,
little tchotchkes.
Little tchotchkes, right? I've never heard that term before,
like
but
souvenirs,
we'll go with
just
it.
little
little souvenirs, little trinkets,
yeah.
You could collect dust. Anyways, one of them had an eagle on it, I guess, and so my parents decided. So my father collected frogs, frog figurines, and my brother collected Dalmatian stuff.
Now, were the Dalmatians? You've told me this story before, and maybe I misinterpreted it, but I remember that your brother didn't necessarily collect Dalmatians like you didn't necessarily collect eagles. It just sort of became a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a go-to gift for my parents. Each of us, Scott gets a little dog, and I get or a dog, and I get various eagle statuettes.
Eagle statuettes.
My parents knew I loved freedom from a young age, and so
Did just as a follow-up question for that, did you